What's up, Nomads? Today you are wondering how to get started investing as a beginner with very little money. Well, we are going to talk about that starting right now. Since we are nomads, we do not invest our time like normal people. We don't do that 9 to 5. And likewise, we do not invest our money the same way as most people. Getting started investing with very little money means you should focus on 3 things. However you invest, it should be easy, free, and digital. That's why the first platform that I recommend that you start investing with is Acorns. One of the easiest investing tools possible, especially if you have very little money that you want to start investing. That's right, you don't need to get started with massive investments. Acorns lets you just invest your spare change. So all you really have to do is just link a few cards to your Acorns account, and then every time you make a purchase, it'll round up to the nearest dollar and invest that small chunk of change for you. And if you're not sure what exactly you should be investing it in, thankfully Acorns also has these automatic programs. You just tell them how much risk you're looking for, how much money you make, how long you want to be investing for, and they will set it up all for you. If you want to invest beyond your spare change, that's where we start talking about apps that actually let you get into the stock market. So I really like using the Robinhood app because it's free, digital, and easy, but I think it's also a great platform for beginner investors. It has some of the same automatic functions that Acorns has when it comes to investing, but it also lets you get involved with individual stocks, options trading, and even marginal shares of stocks, which means that if you want something like a Facebook stock, you don't have to put in the couple $100s that it's worth. You can just put in whatever fractional share value that you want. M1 is another great investing app for nomads because it gives us a way to invest in ourselves using traditional, Roth, and alternative IRAs. M1 also lets you control your money and have a little bit more freedom in how you invest compared to Robinhood, and I really like their auto rebalance feature, which means you can set up your portfolio to invest for you, and then if it ever becomes unbalanced due to market changes, M1 will automatically rebalance it for you and make it so it's the portfolio that you wanted. If you want the most control from an app like this, then I recommend Webull. Webull has a ton of extra features on it. It has all kinds of technical indicators and smart alerts. It's ideal for people who are beginners now as an investor, but they want to have a tool that will let them grow and learn as time goes on. That's 4 apps you can use to invest your money, but I want you to consider investing in something else before you even start investing with those apps. I want you to invest in yourself. Now bear with me on this one because I can't tell you exactly what to do, but I can give you some great recommendations and point you in the right direction. First of all, if you want to invest in yourself, I recommend you start something new right now, like a YouTube channel. Now it doesn't necessarily have to be a YouTube channel, but I want you to start something new that's going to be difficult. For example, as I built this YouTube channel, I learned the very important skills of creating thumbnails and shooting and editing video. So even if this YouTube channel never goes anywhere and I could never make $1 off it, I know I could still go start my own small business by providing people with custom thumbnails or video editing services. All because I took the time just to learn how to do something for myself, which is this YouTube channel. The next thing that I want you to invest in yourself, and this is extremely important, is your health. That's going to include your physical fitness, your mental fitness, and what you are actually consuming. So I think physical fitness is really important to your overall success in life because I don't believe that you're going to have your best ideas if you're stressed with a body that's heaped with injuries. And prior to the world changing, I would have just suggested that you get a Planet Fitness membership because it's really inexpensive and they have a lot of great workout equipment there, and you can travel around and use all the different Planet Fitnesses as a nomad. But I don't recommend that anymore because the world did change. Now I recommend using Beachbody On Demand. It's what I use. Sometimes I'll watch YouTube channels for yoga and stuff like that, but I've just found that I stay much more committed to my fitness if I'm putting a little bit of money into the programs that I'm working on. Don't forget that you also need to take that quiet time every day, and I think that we really don't ever do this. How many of us wake up in the morning, immediately look at our phones, scroll through Facebook or whatever, catch up with the news? We just never have even 2 minutes to shut down our minds and let ourselves relax. And that's why if you want to invest in yourself, I recommend learning how to meditate. It can only take 5 minutes a day. Don't think it's some esoteric thing that you could never grasp. It's really quite simple. And I also want you to just sleep more. I don't think any of us really sleep enough. Just try going to bed about an hour earlier and wake up at the same time every day. I think these kind of investments in your personal routine are going to pay off massive in the long run. And you also have to invest in yourself by learning how to cook. I know you don't want to learn how to cook, But consider this, if you are constantly going out to eat for food or eating frozen dinners, for example, then you are not eating very high quality food. And if you are going out to eat and eating high quality food, then you are spending a lot of money on that. So I want you to eat better and save money by learning to cook your own meals. I mentioned that YouTube could be a great option as a small business just because you're going to learn how to do the thumbnails and the editing, stuff like that. You can do the same thing if you invest your time into learning these types of skills. So please don't scoff at any of these ideas if you are not making as much money as you think you should be making. At some point though, I want you to get really laser focused on your personal development as a form of investment. And that's because there is no guaranteed investment that you can make in any financial market that is going to pay off as well as focusing on yourself. So just start reading as much as you can. There are going to be 3 books that I really recommend to you. The first one is The Richest Man in Babylon by George Clason. And what I love about this book is that it's going to teach you the most important financial principles in a simple, short, and easy to read method. Now the next book I would recommend is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I love this book because it really taught me that I had a poor relationship with money. It showed me that the phrases I was using around money and the ideas I had about money and how it works were completely wrong. So the third book I would recommend is Tony Robbins' Unshakable. Now in typical Tony Robbins fashion, it's quite long-winded, but it does breathe life into the idea that we have a poor relationship with money and that it's just a game. So to get started reading those 3 books, you can click down in the description box for Kindle Unlimited. You'll get a free month, or for Audible, you'll get 2 of those books free. If you're reading and feeling good about the idea of investing in yourself, well, there's one thing that I really want you to do before you put $1 into the stock market or any kind of investing app that we talked about earlier. You have to have a bank account with enough emergency savings in it to protect your life as a nomad. Dave Ramsey says you should have at least $1,000 in your savings account before you start investing in anything else. But again, we don't really have to take the typical advice that we hear from people like that because we are nomads, not traditional people. And if you can build up some of the freelance skills that I talked about earlier while also reading those books that I mentioned, then your relationship with money is going to change so dramatically that you're just not going to worry about it as much because you'll know that 1, it's just a game, and 2, you'll know how to generate income much more quickly using online platforms. But your savings account as a nomad does equal your length of viability. That is, if you have 6 months savings, you can continue working without making $1 for 6 months. So the more savings you have, the longer your nomadic lifestyle is viable. So there's also a specific type of savings account that I want you to have as a nomad, and that's an online savings account that lets you access your money from basically anywhere in the world. That's why I use and recommend Aspiration Bank. Now you can join this bank too just by clicking the link down below. They're gonna give you $50 just to even start a bank account. Now to get that $50, all you have to do is apply for their debit card and then spend $250 within the first 60 days. That's basically your groceries or maybe your utilities, and then get that free money. And I also love this bank because when you join, they plant 25 trees in your honor. So get that money and get that fresh air. And if you want to talk more specifically about how much money nomads should have in their savings account, go ahead and click this video right here, or you can click this one right here because YouTube thinks you will love that video. Don't forget to subscribe before you go, and I will see you next time, my fellow nomads. Peace.